This is the review for Transformers Dark of the Moon Deluxe Roadbuster. He's a pretty nice NASCAR car. I mean, I like the white paint, though it is a little bit sloppy on the edges. And seeing all of the tampographed advertisements is pretty nice, too. It's a small car, but it's a nice, solid car. Fits well in the hand. It is fun to just run back and forth and feel. It has a nice heft to it for its size. Now, granted, it is small, but it's very dense. There's not a... that area right there is about the only empty place in the car. Well, you can see a little bit of an interior, but not much. Now, one thing I want you to notice is that on this rear window, there's a gap in there. That's because normally this rear window extends to here, but that gets in the way of the arms really bad and causes this section here to pop out in robot mode. So it doesn't cause any problems in the figure to just cut that little block of clear plastic out. And I recommend doing that. Now, to transform this figure, it's actually kind of interesting, though it does lead to a slightly, well, actually quite limited robot mode. What you do is first, you bring this up, turn it around, take out the arms like this. Take these little things I was talking about, and they will clip over the wheels, and then take these green things and fold them up. Now, normally, that piece I was telling you about that I recommend cutting off would bump into this big plate on the arms. But if you cut that piece out, it's not a problem. So, fold this up, bend this, and clip this over the wheel. The next thing you will do is you'll take the legs, fold them down, turn it around, press in on these, which will disengage them from the roof, or from the hood, and then you can rotate them out, and that will separate this entire section from the car body. Flip this in and fold it up. Next, what you need to do is you need to take this and rotate it around, fold these in, and then collapse this whole thing in. It's pretty easy to see where all the tabs are, but hard to show on the camera. And then straighten out the legs, and you have Roadbuster. Now, a lot of people complain that this figure has not enough paint apps in robot mode, and yeah, the gray is kind of bland looking. That's because all the paint apps went into making the car mode look nice. And I can see why people have a problem with this, because the robot mode does look kind of bland, but it's not a problem for me. The overall aesthetic for the robot mode looks very nice, at least from the front. I'll talk about the back in a little bit. So, I like how this thing looks. Now, from the back, it's just a big car shell, and that is a problem, because it severely limits the legs. Because this goes way down to here, like it bites into his ankles. So I don't like that very much. But for a deluxe size figure that has a as an effective transformation as this, and as good of a robot mode as this, as far as aesthetics minus paint, I can forgive it, because it's a fun figure to mess around with. It has some amount of charm. Now, as for articulation, the arms are ball jointed and can go up on this little hinge here. Ball jointed, there's a bicep swivel and an elbow that goes 90 degrees. This will get in the way of this thing unless you cut off that little clear piece I was telling you about. The head is ball jointed and it has a fair amount of motion, although it can pop off pretty easily. The legs go forward, back, no, not at all. Then it has knees and a thigh swivel. Now, unfortunately, this guy's heel is not long enough to allow him to balance very well, so he is limited in his poses. So it certainly isn't a good figure, but I would hesitate to call it bad. It's just kind of there and fun to mess with. I like him in as much that I have him and I can stand to play with him, but I wouldn't recommend going out of your way for it. So buy at your own risk. You might end up enjoying it like I have. And that's all. Thanks for watching.